Big hand to everyone for Mr. Graeme Knights.
That was a good start, wasn't it? We are well met, my friends, in this place tonight. Though some of us are strangers to each other, the many paths that led us here shall mingle and unite as we walk down the same road together. And so when the music starts, open up your heart, let it soar like a lark in early morning. Trouble, care, and fear tonight have no place here, and soon shall disappear in the sound of singing. This crowded age we live in leaves us little room for choice. Small, simple dreams are often derided, but tonight we shall sing with one common human voice, and tonight we shall be not divided. And so when the music starts, open up your heart, let it soar like a lark in early morning. Trouble, care, and fear tonight have no place here, and soon shall disappear in the sound of singing. And all these few hours at least, let your spirit be released. I hope you find peace, if peace is what you're seeking. The frantic, ceaseless roar of the crowd outside that door shall this night fade before the sound of singing. Forgot to unmute myself there. I was talking so long. Right, okay, ladies and gentlemen. What it's about is it's about a guy called Jim Ashworth-Beaumont, who I've known, I don't know, about 20 years or so, something like that. And he's the person who made me things like this. He's the person who came up with the idea. It folds like this, and with some hydraulics, it goes like that. This is what makes me be able to walk. I can go out, I can walk the dogs, I can do lots of things that I couldn't do before. So this man is the man who made these things. Unfortunately, he was involved in a serious accident, and he's actually come to join us this evening. So I'm going to hand you over to Jim Ashworth-Beaumont for a moment to have a little chat with you all.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jim Ashworth-Beaumont, and I've known Graeme for, like he says, sort of 15 years, really. He's one of my sort of earliest patients at Stanmore, which is where the Royal National Orthopaedic is. And it really is a lovely place to work, because you meet people like Graeme who have such like motivation, goals, and all you want to do is help them as much as you can. So he takes things above and beyond being just a clinician to, that you actually want to make a real change to their life. Yeah. So if I've made a difference to your life, Graeme, that's enough for me. I'll retire now.
That's very kind of you, Jim. As testament to how much of a change you've made to my life. None of these people in this room know who you are, apart from me telling them. And before we even had a note sung tonight, even with the technical hitch, I can tell you that we've already hit £250 towards our target. I'd like it to be £500 tonight. Well, I'd like it to be more for you, but I'm very grateful to you, and I'm sure all these people are so grateful to you for getting me moving and being really annoying to them all. So I'll thank you very much, Jim, and I'll get the first singer ready and on to sing. So we might call on you a bit later as well if you're still here, Jim.
Okay, mate. I'm not going anywhere. Okay.
All right. Cheers.
Thanks a lot.
The next singer coming up, ladies and gentlemen, is known to you all very well. TikTok hasn't held him back. In fact, TikTok might have even brought him forward a little bit. Some people say he's as old as my grandfather's clock. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jim Mageean.
Hi, Jim.
He needs to see me. He needs to see you.
Right. Nice to see you all. I'm going to sing a shanty to start with, and which is because shanties are so in at the moment. You know, if you've got to be up there with the kids, and so this is a shanty, and it's a great version of Shallow Brown, very unusual version of Shallow Brown, and it's called the Yankee Ship. Shallow, shallow brown, shallow, shallow brown, shallow, shallow brown, shallow, shallow brown. Yankee ship came down the river, shallow, shallow brown. Yankee ship, she's a Yankee clipper, shallow, shallow brown. How do you know she's a Yankee clipper? Shallow, shallow brown, by the blood and guts running from her scuppers. Shallow, shallow brown. And who do you think was the skipper of her? Shallow, shallow brown. Why, Slimy Joe, the sailor robber. Shallow, shallow brown. And who do you think was the chief mate of her? Shallow, shallow brown. Why, Boss-eyed Bill, the Boston flogger. Shallow, shallow brown. Yankee mate and a Yankee skipper. Shallow, shallow brown. That's the style to make you shiver. Shallow, shallow brown. What do you think she had for cargo? Shallow, shallow brown. Why, Black Sheep that had run the embargo. Shallow, shallow brown. What do you think they had for breakfast? Shallow, shallow brown. Why, the starboard side of an old sou'wester. Shallow, shallow brown. What do you think they had for dinner? Shallow, shallow brown. 'Twas water soup but slightly thinner. Shallow, shallow brown. And what do you think they'll get for supper? Shallow, shallow brown. Why, a cake in the arse and a roll in the scuppers. Shallow, shallow brown. She's bound away for Kingston City. Shallow, shallow brown. Never got them more's the pity. Shallow, shallow brown. Well, blow today and blow tomorrow. Shallow, shallow brown. Blow for that hell ship full of sorrow. Shallow, shallow brown. 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 So that was a hauling shanty collected by Cecil Sharp from John Short of Watchet, Somerset in 1914. And it's one of my hauling shanties. I wrote a book in lockdown. I've written 3 small books with CDs called Haul Away, which is hauling shanties, and that was from one of those. That was from that book. Heave Away, which is heaving shanties, And then the final one, the final part of the trilogy, is Sail Away. Where do you get them? It comes up. You get them from me at shanty_jim@hotmail.com. But I shall put that up later, maybe. Anyway, so I thought I'd do a couple from the latest book, the latest instalment, or the final instalment of the trilogy. This is the Four Bitters and Sea Songs. So this is a great sea song, and it was written by a guy who I used to see in London a lot, called Red Sullivan, who used to run a folk club just off the Tottenham Court Road called the Troubadour, and it was a great folk club, very late night folk club. And anyway, Red ran that with a guy called Martin Windsor. And Red, in his youth, had been a trimmer, that's a stoker aboard ship, shoveling the coal into the furnaces to keep the boilers going. And Red had written this shanty early in his days, and it's a great stoker shanty, and there's not many of them. There may not be any more of them, but this is a great stoking shanty. And it's all about the Mauritania. It's called Firing the Mauritania. And the Mauritania was built on the Tyne, and Swan Hunters on the Tyne launched in 1906. And when she was built in 1906, she was the biggest moving object ever built on planet Earth. And she was the biggest and fastest ship in the world for nearly a quarter of a century, because she was fired by steam turbine engines designed by Charles Parsons, another famous Geordie. And so this is all about the Mauritania. Barrie and Ingrid can join in with me on this, but they're unfortunately not in sync. But I sing this with Barrie and Ingrid in my group Jib, which is Jim and Ingrid and Barrie. In 1924, found myself in Liverpool on the floor. So I went to the Cunard office door, got a job in the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania. Mauritania's stokehole's a wonderful sight. 192 fires are burning bright. So you shoveling coal all day and night, firing the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania. The coal was hard and full of slate, and that's what did for the 4 to 8. It surely finished the 4 to 8, firing the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania. The 8 to 12 were much better men, but they were worn out and weary by 10:30. So worn out and weary by 10:30, firing the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania. The fan blew out and the fires wouldn't draw, and that's what did for the 12 to 4. It surely finished the 12 to 4, firing the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania. So come all you trimmers wherever you be, that Cunard line's bloody purgatory. So stick to the coast, don't run deep sea, you'll be firing the Mauritania, firing the Mauritania. She surely is a slaver. To hell with the Mauritania.
Hey.
Oh, so that was by Red Sullivan, Merchant Seaman, and the next one is also written by a merchant seaman, also from Sail Away, my third instalment of the trilogy. And in fact, Sail Away, the title track of Sail Away, is written by great friend Rod Shearman, great friend of Graeme's and mine, and I'm sure many of you as well. And a wonderful man and merchant seaman from London, and he wrote this song early on in his days when he was at sea with Shell, and he found that he was homesick. He missed home a lot, but he didn't miss his hometown of London, because how could you miss London? Let's face it. He missed the river. He missed the Thames, or what the sailors always call the London River. That is that stretch of the Thames from Tower Bridge down towards the sea. Sailors always referred to that, going right back centuries, referred to it as the London River. And so Rod wrote this great song, which I sing sometimes with Graeme, and I sang for many years with Johnny Collins, and it's the London River by Rod Shearman. Now the first time I set me eyes upon her, I tell no lie upon me honour, sights and sounds set me heart a quiver, that I saw on the London River. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Well, they got me a berth in a flat-bottom collier, crew were fine, they couldn't have been jollier, up to the north where the girls are kind, back with coal from the River Tyne. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Then I did the mail run out to Australia, learned to walk and drink like a sailor, made a pass at every Sheila, got a slap round the chops and a twisted feeler. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Then I signed as steward in the Regent Leopard, tugs they came to shunt and shepherd, out to the Indies where the rum is brewed, had me a drop and got me kidneys stewed. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Then I got me a berth in a cold store freighter, back in London 4 months later, full of goods we were laden down, with lamb and butter from Auckland town. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Then I shipped on board of a British tanker, fine new ship and she was a spanker, out to the Gulf where your blood near boiled, back to London with a load of oil. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Well, I worked as a winger in the old Orsover, some of them stewards fair bowled you over, lipstick and powder and all that muck, they walked like a lady and they called you duck. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Seen many a beautiful waterway, saw sights to take your breath away, but the thoughts of them just fade and wither whenever I think on the London River. London River, oh the London River, all the love I've got I'll give her. London River, oh the London River, that's the river for me. Roger. So I'll finish with a non-shanty. So this isn't in any of my books, but it's a great favourite. It was a great favourite of mine and Johnny Collins's, and it's been a great favourite of mine and Graeme's whenever we sang together as well. And it's a railroad shanty, although it started life in the cotton mills, and so it was sung by the Mill Girls, and it was called a song called Single Girl. And it crossed the Atlantic, and it started to be sung by the railroad gangs. And it was collected in 1948, great year, 1948. And it was collected in 1948 from a guy called Rufus Crisp. So this is a great railroading song. And there's lots of versions of it. There's bluegrass versions and everything. But this is my version, and I hope you like it. Anyway, thank you for listening to me. And if you want to get in touch about my books and CDs, it's at shanty_jim@hotmail.com. I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please. And I've been all around this world. Now single girl, where'd you get that dress so fine? Single girl, where'd you get that dress so fine? Got my dress from an engineer, got my shoes from a driver down the line, and I've been all around this world, and I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please, and I've been all around this world. Now single girl, go get yourself to town. Single girl, go get yourself to town. 'Cause when you get married, you're gonna work till the sun goes down. And I've been all around this world, and I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please, and I've been all around this world. Now single girl, go out whenever you please. Single girl, go out whenever you please. 'Cause when you get married, you'll have babies all over your knees. And I've been all around this world, and I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please, and I've been all around this world. Now if you meet a rich girl, just pass her on down the line. If you meet a rich girl, just pass her on down the line. Oh, but if you meet a poor girl, won't you ask her to be mine? And I've been all around this world, and I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please. And I've been all around this world. Now the new railroad is coming, boys, and the cars are on the track. The new railroad is coming, boys, and the cars are on the track. And if our women leave us, you know the money'll soon bring 'em back. And I've been all around this world, and I'm working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. Working on the new railroad with the mud up to my knees. I've been digging for Big John Henry, and he's so hard to please. And I've been all around this world, and I'm going on round again.
Excellent.
Sound and everything, isn't it?
That's folk music.
Thank you very much, Jim. That's very kind of you. Good set there. Just a minor point. Jim and I, when we sing in Whitby at Whitby Folk Week, certain songs trigger automatic donations. Well, one of those songs is London River. Now, I'm not saying that London River did this, but during Jim's set, the total went up by another £100. So if we could keep that going through the whole evening, I'd be really grateful. £100 a set would be really nice. So no more ado. To give you time to send your money, I'm going straight away to Ingrid and Barrie Temple, please.
Hello. Hello. And yeah.
Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. Great stuff.
It's the first time I've done a concert sitting in my slippers.
Yeah. Right, so we'd like to finish with this one. Anyway, when we were on earlier, I don't know if anybody can see Graeme's screen, but just behind the screen, on his screen, there's two dogs sleeping on the settee. And one of them is a new puppy he's just got. Oh no, he's gone off to get it. One of them's just a new puppy he's just got. So we thought we'd start with this song, which we got from Graeme Metcalf, who was on the other page. Hello, Graeme.
From Canada.
Lucinda, lovely to see you. So we're going to sing this song. It comes from around about the mid-1800s, written by a guy called George White Melville, and he was a Scotsman, but he spent most of his life in Yorkshire, and he was a great lover of the outdoors and the outdoor pursuits. So this is a little fox hunting song called Drink, Puppy, Drink.
Yes, for Graeme. Okay.
It's not for the puppy. Now here is to the fox in his lair beneath the rocks. Here's to the scent that we follow. Oh, and here's to every hound with his nose upon the ground, as merrily we whoop and we hollow. So drink, puppy, drink, let every puppy drink that's old enough to lap and to swallow. For he'll grow into a hound, and we'll pass the bottle round, as merrily we whoop and we hollow. Now here is to the horse and the rider too, of course. Here's to the rally, to the young boys. Oh, and here's to every friend who can struggle to the end. And here's to the tally-ho in front, boys. So drink, puppy, drink. Let every puppy drink. That's old enough to lap and to swallow. For we'll grow into a noun, and we'll pass the bottle round. As merrily we whoop, and we'll hollow. Now here is to the gap, and the timbers that we wrap. Here's to the white thorn and the black too. Oh, and here is to the pace that puts life into the chase, and a fence that gives a moment for the pack too. So drink, puppy, drink. Let every puppy drink. That's old enough to lap and to swallow. For we'll grow into a noun, and we'll pass the bottle round. As merrily we whoop, and we hollow. Now that pack is staunch and true, as they run from centre view, and to follow is the only way to go, boys. For to see them dive and swoop, and to finish with a whoop. 40 minutes on the grass without a check, boys. So drink, puppy, drink. Let every puppy drink. That's old enough to lap and to swallow. For we'll grow into a noun, and we'll pass the bottle round. As merrily we whoop, and we hollow. As merrily we whoop, and we hollow.
Ingrid. David, sorry, my part.
We had the great privilege of singing that with Graeme at
Whitby. Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
We sang it at
Bromyard
Festival.
Whitby.
It was.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that was good fun.
Okay.
Right, we'll carry on now. This is a Copper family song, and I don't know why we decided to sing this, because we haven't sung it for a while. But it's a lovely song called "Charming Molly," and we had the great privilege of singing this at a great friend of ours who sadly passed away at the beginning of last year, a funeral, and she always wanted us to sing this at a funeral. And so we had a gathering in the pub, and we sang this song, and I finished singing this song, and then our granddaughter, who came from Australia or something, she turned around to me and she says, I just went to get me camera to video it for the family back home. She said, could you sing it again? So we had to sing it twice. I don't know whether the song been sung twice at a funeral before. But
So this was for Molly, who lives in Whitby.
She did live
in Whitby, yes. I love this song.
Okay.
Barrie says we weren't going to do it, but I wanted to do it because it's only short, but it just says how lovely women are. There you go.
Yeah, I'll sing nothing.
Right. Okay.
Charming Molly, so fine and brisk and gay, like nightingales in May. All around her eyelids young cupids play. She has eyes so bright they shine wine, black as any berry, cheeks like any cherry. Charming Molly with the sparkling eyes. See how the swain do admire and desire such a pretty little woman. To hold her hand, it burns like sparkling fire in her face. These things are seen. Violets, roses, lilies, daffodils. Charming Molly, she is all divine. Surely there is no one loves a pretty woman if she be not common. Surely such beauty most men do admire. There is no one can them despise, because they are so pretty and they talk so witty. Charming Molly with the sparkling eyes. Charming Molly. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Get some money in the jar. Right, this is a song. I like this song because it's a sentiment I think we should all adhere to, and it's called "Happy's the Man." And it was collected many years ago, turn of the century, about 1906, I think it was, by a lovely man called Alfred Williams. And it's in a collection called Folk Songs of the Upper Thames. And for all of you who've got the little book, you'll know that it's just the words and there isn't a tune. So when I got this song many years ago, I put a tune to it. And then having put the tune to it, I then discovered that there was a tune to it. But we've retained our original tune. And I'm happy to say that there's a lot of other happy men sing this song as well.
Yeah, it's a Morris tune.
Happy's the Man. Am I getting the key?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Oh, dear. She only has one thing to do.
What is it, G?
Yeah.
Right.
Never work with women and dogs. Now happy's the man who is free from all care, who likes to make merry with his ale and strong beer, with his pipe and his friends, passing hours away, singing song after song, till he hails the new day, till he hails the new day, till he hails the new day, singing song after song, till he hails the new day. And happy's the land that is doubly blessed with meat that's delightful, oh, and ale of the best. For where we have one pot, we'll ne'er ask for more, for we have what we want now. What mortal has more? What mortal has more? What mortal has more? For we have what we want now. What mortal has more? Our soldiers are bold, and they fear not the foe. They're cursed in all countries, wherever they go. Our sailors are valiant, they're feared on each shore. When the trumpets do sound, and the loud cannons roar, and the loud cannons roar, and the loud cannons roar. When the trumpets do sound, and the loud cannons roar. So it's happy's the man with his blessings divine. He ne'er thinks of discord, but in mirth he's inclined. He'll sit and he'll drink, passing hours away, singing song after song, till he hails the new day, till he hails the new day, till he hails the new day, singing song after song, till he hails the new day. Happy's the man. Right, thanks very much. We'll bash on, and we'll sing you this last song. We wanted to sing this song because the sentiments in the song are really what tonight's all about. And we got this song from the singing of a great border shepherd up in Northumberland called Willie Scott. And it's a beautiful sentiment, and the song's called Pulling Hard Against the Stream.
Right.
Now in this world I've gained some knowledge, but for it I've had to pay. Though I never went to college, I heard them poets say, life is like a mighty river, rolling on from day to day. We are vessels launched upon it, sometimes wrecked or cast away. So do your best for one another, making life a pleasant dream. Help the worn and weary traveller, pulling hard against the stream. Now many's the bright, good-hearted fellow, many's the noble-minded man, finds himself in waters shallow, so assist him if you can. Some succeed at every turning, fortune favours every scheme. Not a friend and not a shilling, pulling hard against the stream. Now when that wind is in your favour, and you've weathered every squall, think on those whose luckless labour never gets fair wind at all. Working hard, contented, willing, struggling through life's many dreams. Not a friend and not a shilling, pulling hard against the stream. So don't give way to foolish sorrow. Let this keep you in good cheer. Brighter days will come tomorrow if you try and persevere. Darkest nights must have a morning, though the sky be overcast. Lowest days must have a turning, then the tide will turn at last. So do your best for one another, making life a pleasant dream. Help the worn and weary traveller, pulling hard against the stream. Thank you very much, Steve.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much, Barrie and Ingrid. I don't know whether it's pure coincidence or what, but during your set, the total went up by £200. So that was up by 100 for Jim, 200 for Barrie and Ingrid. So I don't know if that means you've got to get 300, Bob, or whether you can go back down to 100 as there's only one of you. So we'll see. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was very delighted when the next guest offered his services to me. I don't know. We've been friends for a long time, and he's seen my mobility journey, and I've been to his house here and the one in Minnesota. So all the way from Minnesota, ethnomusicologist Dr. Bob Walser.
Hey.
Bravo!
Down the Mississippi steamed the whippoorwill, commanded by the captain, Mr. Steamboat Bill. The owners gave him orders on the strict QT to try to beat the record of the Robert E. Lee. And it's Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, Steamboat Bill. A mighty man was he, Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, trying to beat the record of the Robert E. Lee. Build up all your fires, let the old smoke roll. Burn up all the cargo if you run out of coal. If we don't beat that record, Billy told the mate, send my mail and carabiner to the Golden Gate. And it's Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, Steamboat Bill. A mighty man was he, Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, trying to beat the record of the Robert E. Lee. Up stepped a gambling man from Louisville, and he tried to make a bet against the whippoorwill. Billy flashed a roll, it surely was a bear, and the boiler, it exploded, blew him up in the air. Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, Steamboat Bill. A mighty man was he, Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, trying to beat the record of the Robert E. Lee. Said the gambling man to Billy as they left the wreck, I don't know where we're going, but we're neck and neck. Said Billy to the gambler, tell you what I'll do, I bet another 1,000 I go higher than you. And it's Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, Steamboat Bill. A mighty man was he, Steamboat Bill, down the Mississippi, trying to meet the record of the Robert E. Lee. Well, the river's all in mourning now for Steamboat Bill. No more you'll hear the puffin' of the whippoorwill. There's crepe on every steamer now that plies the stream from Memphis down to Natchez on to New Orleans. Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi. Steamboat Bill, a mighty man was he. Steamboat Bill, steaming down the Mississippi, trying to beat the record of the Robert E. Lee.
Thank you.
Oh,
I like that.
thank you so much. Great fun to sing that song. I learned that song from a Morris dancer, a guy named Wally Fenn, who danced with the Westerly Morris many years ago. And when I learned the song from him, it sounded to me like it was a Tin Pan Alley song, but I couldn't ever figure out where it came from or whatever. And that was back before the days of the internet. So this morning I thought, I wonder if the internet can tell me anything about that song. And sure enough, what Wally sang was based on a tune that was published in 1911. It was written by Ren Shields and the Leighton Brothers. But the printed music and the tune, it got folk processed a good bit. So I like the way that Wally sang it. It's fun to sing it with you. Going to sing a song that a lot of you will have heard me sing before, but I just never get tired of this one. It's a song about an old steamboat or an old schooner captain, a guy named Zebulon Northrop Tilton, who was the last coasting schooner along the coast of the United States. A song written by Larry Kaplan that is imagining old Zeb Tilton going ashore after many years at sea, and he's saying to his daughters, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes, Gertie, get my walking cane, we'll take another walk to see old Alice, that's the ship, the Alice S. Wentworth, sail again. I'm not tired of the wind, I'm not weary of the sea, but she's probably had a belly full of a damned old coot like me. I'm going ashore, she's bound for better days, but I'll see her topsails flying when I come down off the waves. Oh, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes, Gertie, get my walking cane, we'll take another walk to see old Alice sail again. Wish I had a nickel for the men I used to know, who could load 3 cords of lumber in half an hour or so, who could put up sail by hauling stead of donkeying around. Then I'd be the poorest coaster man this side of Edgartown. Oh, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes, Gertie, get my walking cane, we'll take another walk to see old Alice sail again. Any fool can run an engine, takes brains to work a sail. Never seen no steamer make much good out of a gale. You can go and pay your taxes on the ration gas you get, but at least to me, the wind is free and they haven't run out yet. Oh, Rosie, get my Sunday shoes, Gertie, get my walking cane. We'll take another walk to see old Alice sail again. If I ever get back to her, you know I'd treat her just the same. Jibe her when I want to, boys, sail in the freezing rain. Park old Alice on the beach and go dancing in the town. 'Cause a man who's fit for hanging probably never will get drowned. Oh, Rosie, get my Sunday shoe. Gertie, get my walking cane. We'll take another walk to see Alice sail again.
Amazing.
Thanks to Larry Kaplan. Wonderful, wonderful song. Well, the next one I want to do is one that comes from a mysterious man. His name was Joseph F. McGinnis. And Joseph F. McGinnis lived in New York City, and he collected songs, and very little, I can find out almost nothing about the man. I know that he knew Joanna Colcord, who was a famous collector of American shanties who published a book. And he also knew another folklorist named Robert W. Gordon. McGinnis's manuscript wound up as part of Gordon's collection. But about the man, I don't know anything. But his manuscript is full of sea songs, shanties, and other American songs. This song, which just had words, didn't have a tune, so I had to kind of like Barrie. By the way, Barrie, Barrie and Ingrid, that last song, oh, so nice. Thank you for that. Anyway, here's Joe McGinnis's little song. Come all you jovial shipmates that reef and furl the sail as we batter round Cape Horn in a cold and bitter gale. It's a thought to cheer us round the world we roam. It's to kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. When our ship comes home, when our ship comes home, we'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. It's not out on the main yard or on the flying boom, or scraping bright a lower mast neath the brilliant trade wind moon, but to drink a pot of brown ale, now that would be nice, or blow away the foam and to kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. When our ship comes home, when our ship comes home, we'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. Each landsman has his wifey and he never goes to sea, while we out on the topsail yard cursing bitterly. We know the day is coming as we batter through the foam. We'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. When our ship comes home, when our ship comes home, we'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. So now, haul out to windward and out to leeward haul. Make fast your string reef points, hang your halyards on. Strike up a roaring shanty to speed us o'er the foam. We'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. When our ship comes home, we'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home. When our ship comes home, when our ship comes home, we'll kiss a pretty fair maid when our ship comes home.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got there.
The man of beer.
It's been fun to do this, and it was really fun when I saw who all was participating in this, and I thought, I miss singing with my friends so much, and several of the people who are singing here tonight are people who I've sung with over the years and just relished the chance to sing with them. And so I asked them to join me on this last song, and a number of them did, or will, or are, or I'm not sure the right sense of the verb. But anyway, the song that we're going to sing is a song that comes from the African-American tradition from the Caribbean, actually. It was collected in 1935. It was a boat hauling song collected by Alan Lomax and Zora Neale Hurston. You may know the famous author, and a person with the best name for a sea song collector ever, Mary Elizabeth Barnacle. Those three people collected this song, but unfortunately they didn't write down the name of the singers. So all we have on the record at the Library of Congress is a group of Andros Island men who sang this song. And it's got an easy chorus that you can join us on. It's just a long summer day. Oh, the day is so long and the wages so small.
Long summer day.
The day is so long and the wages so small.
Long summer day.
Ah, the day is so long and I want to go home.
Long summer day.
Ah, the day is so long and the wage is so small.
Long summer day.
We're launching this good boat down on the water alone.
Long summer day.
We're launching this good boat down now on the water alone.
Long summer day.
Gonna tell you now who it was built this good boat to me.
Long summer day.
Jim Jewell, he built this good boat to me.
Long summer day.
Gonna tell you now what this good boat now she named to me.
Long summer day.
Are they gonna call her the Lady Margaret to me?
Long summer day.
We're launching this good boat now down on the water alone.
Long summer day.
Ah, look at that good boat now down on the water alone.
Long summer day.
Come on now, boss man, pay me my money a
long summer day.
The day is so long and the wage is so small.
Long summer day.
Ah, the day is so long and the wage is so small.
Long summer day.
Ah, the day is so long and I want to go home.
Long summer day.
I got that on very well.
Thank you, and thank you to everybody who helped that possible.
Okay, thank you very much, Bob Walser. Thank you, Bob. I know how tricky it is singing when that frog gets in your throat and you just can't get it out. You just want it to get out and hop away, but it won't. But thank you so much. I'm afraid you didn't quite hit the target, though. You didn't quite get the 300. Would you believe, though, you got 250 during your set? So if any of you are adding this up, you'll be able to tell me what the total is. I don't know. I'll also mention that we have a total. We also have some people who have donated directly to the GoFundMe page. Total there is £110. So after the break, I shall be able to bring you up to speed with a telethon-like total, and hope that it goes up in the second half. Okay, so we're going to show the video now that we were hoping to show at the beginning, but because of the time lapse, we didn't. So you'll still be on mute, but please do hang around and watch the video if you can, and then we'll get back on with the second half just as soon as everyone's had a chance to grab a quick glass of brandy or whatever they need. I'm starting to think I need a bottle of scotch, but yeah, so over to Steve for the videos.
It's going to show you a bit about Jim, his recovery from the bad accident he had last year, and basically what he's hoping to do now as a result of the fundraising that he's hoping to do and that we're helping him with. So here we go.
I'll just say before it goes on, there is nothing gory, but there may be possibly things that might upset you, but there is nothing gory, and Jim is happy for us to see this, just so that you're aware of that.
You can, Ian. 2, 1. Okay. Okay, up. There we go. Okay. There we go. Put on your belly. Good. Alright. Just losing my breathing. Okay.
Slowly, yeah? Yeah. Or faster, slow return type thing. Yeah.
It will come quickly. You just need that first couple of days to just someone there doing everything. Then next thing you know,
Really practicing just standing still.
Sorry, is that my bad? That's okay. I got you. Yes, buddy. You're doing really well. Alright? I'm not going to let you fall. It's alright. You're doing amazing. Steady.
Good. Very good.
Okay? Yep. Is that what you want from the torso? Yeah.
Feeling okay, good. Hands there. Okay, stop.
Ali, 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 come on.
Halfway up, then please.
Ali, Ali.
Well, for 2.5 months, I was being told that I might not last another 24 hours. July last year, I was training for a triathlon at the time. I jumped on my bike and stopped at some traffic lights, and an articulated lorry was stopped at the lights as well. The lorry turned right, the articulation moved left. I was dragged about 90 metres up the road on my front, and then my right arm went under the back wheels of the trailer, and I could feel the weight of the truck moving up my body towards my head. And at that point I was pretty convinced I was going to die. I've 20 years I've worked as a prosthetist and orthotist for the NHS, and that involves either replacing a limb that's been lost or augmenting the body in some way with a device to help them move around. My dream is to return to the job which I love. It's a truly bionic arm. There's two sort of stages. One is to fix a titanium rod into the end of my remaining arm, and then secondly to wire the signals from the muscles, which are controlled by my brain, down to the motors in the artificial limb to make it do what I want it to do.
I've been looking after Jim for a number of months, and you can't help but feel for him in his position. You know, his entire career has been looking after prosthetic limb patients, and now, unfortunately, he is one. Current prosthetic limbs are essentially suspended from your arm, and that can lead to blisters and pain and discomfort. The real game-changing technology is the ability to connect a robotic arm directly via wires through the osseointegration into the nerves and muscles.
Four years ago, I lost my left arm in the Croydon tram crash. This that goes round my arm, if you look in there, you can see all them electrodes. So when I think about moving the actual hand that was there, that then muscles react and the nerve triggers through these receptors into the arm.
Having the osseointegration, the bit sticking out of your arm there, I mean, has that made a big difference to your prosthetic?
The actual range of movement, it's astonishing, and the weight difference is absolutely unbelievable. For you to, this early on, want to go and getting back on a bike, that's so inspiring, and that is so motivational. That's why I just cannot wait to get on this journey with you.
Is it me? Am I live? I am.
You are live, yeah, whenever you like.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to have a very, very short break now. Give you a bit of time to donate some money, go and have a comfort break and then come back. So literally, we're going to be gone for a few minutes. So a few minutes, and I think we'll leave up the screen if we can to show how to donate. Can we do that?
We can.
If people don't do PayPal or anything like that, they can donate to me. You can email me, and I can give you alternative options. So, okay, right. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
There is the tip jar URL for you, paypal.me.graemekn. You need the capitals on the Graeme and the K. And when you do so, if you pay as a friend, it will avoid PayPal taking any charges out of the payment that you give. Over to you, Graeme, whenever you're ready.
Okay then. Right, well, I'm here. And just to make up for the technical hitch at the beginning, I'm going to show you a nice picture of a puppy. Well, it's not actually a picture of a puppy, obviously. It's a real puppy that's now going to eat me because I woke it up and took it down the garden. Anyway, can we, is it possible to unmute? Oh, well, I better get rid of the puppy now. Give it back to the other dog. There we go. That's it. Sit. Good boy. Is it possible to unmute Jim as well? Hiya, Jim. All right?
All right, mate. You be Michael Parkinson then.
Yes, that's right. Well, obviously, just not to delve too deeply into it, but I mean, you mentioned in your video there that there was a moment when you thought you were going to die, which obviously a lot of people would have thought that at the point of a 40-ton truck coming towards their head. Clearly, you haven't, and clearly from seeing you running in the video as well, and I believe you're cycling again, are you? Is that right?
Well, just in front of the computer at the moment.
Oh, right. Oh, so training sort of bike, yeah. So, but you are getting, And your plan is to get back on a bike?
Well, we're thinking about putting a big long cycle together. So myself and Steve Kennedy, who's the guy that you saw in the video there, we become a bit of a sort of a team, a duo, and other people have got interested as well. So what we'll probably end up with is about a dozen amputees of various flavors doing a 24-hour cycle or something like that. And the idea is to really sort of raise the awareness between, sort of physical and mental rehabilitation together. I've spoken to some psychologist friends, and there really is a link between the two. So as you know yourself, if you can get out and do exercise with the dogs or whatever, it really helps your mental health, doesn't it?
It definitely does. When we were speaking earlier on today, I said to you that my aim was to raise £500 this evening. Would you believe it if I told you we'd already raised £500 this evening?
Oh my God, that's incredible.
I have to say, in actual fact, we've gone through £750 already this evening. That's not including the 110 on the that's already been donated through the GoFundMe.
Wow.
So everyone out there, we're at 750. You know what that means, don't you? It means that during the next half, we need another 250 quid, don't we? Because we can't leave it less than £1,000, surely. So, oh, sorry, it's just come in my. I've just been donated another £50. Sorry. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Well, lovely. Thank you very much, Jim. I'm going to.
Pleasure.
Actually, just before you go, so everyone can see. So this, I was told earlier, it was very blurry. This is the sort of thing that Jim makes for people. Not only this, but this type of thing. This is what he makes for me personally. These are made with a plaster cast put round my leg, and then the plaster cast is used to make the mold. Here, you can see there is a hydraulic ram. I believe I'm correct in saying I'm one of the first patients at Stanmore that used the hydraulic systems. Jim, is that
that's right? Yeah, absolutely.
So basically, what's going to happen is when it can rest in that position, but when it gets a little movement, it suddenly goes like that. So that gives my foot a good kick forward, which when you've seen me walking around, that's why. When I've not got that on, I'm back in the chair again. So, I can do a few paces without that, but otherwise I trip over my own feet. So I'm incredibly touched that we have got to where we've got to so far. but I think it would be absolutely wonderful if we could round it up to £1,000 tonight, and that'd be great. Jim, thank you very much. I'm going to now start introducing the second half, so I'll let you go back and go out the spotlight and be in peace for a little while. So
okay, Graeme, thanks, mate.
Now then, the man behind a lot of my Zooms and things like that, helps me out when the concerts are on, is helping me out tonight. And it seems only fitting that he is to be that start the second half off. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you're unmuted or not, but please give a nice big round of applause for Steve Last.
Sorry, I've shut Graeme up, haven't I? Thank you so much, Graeme. Thank you for giving me a chance to do this. So I'm just going to sing one song for you before we get back to the real stars again. And so I'm going to sing you a song that was written by a friend of ours. He's in the audience somewhere. I've got a feeling that he's actually on Facebook, but I'm not really sure. A guy called Tom Reed, who writes some fantastic songs. And this is one that I think is very appropriate to today's theme, if you like. So here we go. It's called Take a Chance. If the dice are loaded every time you throw, and the doors keep closing everywhere you go, don't give up, don't turn away. That's the price you'll have to pay. Though it pierce you like a lance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. If the tide should turn and catch you unaware, and the road you travel leads you to despair, take your song and make it rhyme, turn the water into wine, take the floor for every dance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. Game of love has brought you to your knees, and your hopes and dreams lie scattered on the breeze. Take the lessons that you've learned, take the bridges that you've burned. If she gives you just one glance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. If the ones who love to hate come in the night, and the bells of freedom call on you to fight, If your back's against the wall, you must stand or you must fall. When the bugle sounds advance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. If your back's against the wall, you must stand or you must fall. When the bugle sounds advance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. Couldn't. Please. That song, looking at.
Thank you very much, Steve. That was brilliant. Money is coming in thick and fast. I can't keep up with it in just one song, I'm afraid. So I'm not quite sure what came in there. Anyway, our next guest phoned up one day a couple of weeks ago to see how I was. I hope I've got this order right, by the way. He phoned me up. He said, "How are you doing?" You know, he knows that I've not been too well and things like that. And so just phoned up generally to see how I was doing, and somehow ended up being volunteered into this concert. So I'm very pleased and privileged, actually, that he should want to join us. I'm going to say no more, actually. I'm starting to get a little bit emotional here. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sean Cooney.
Hello. Welcome to my kitchen. It's lovely to be with you, Sean. It's lovely to see so many of you. Graeme, thanks so much for having me. I've really loved it so far. I've got some new songs on this theme of life changes and inspirational people, but I thought I'd start with a song from our collection of songs about Johnny Longstaff. I say our, and I mean the young ones. I know David Eagle, who's my bandmate, he's going to come on next, and along with Michael Hughes in the young ones, we've spent a big part of the last few years celebrating a hero of the North East whose name is Johnny Longstaff. And Johnny's life touched upon, like many of the great moments of working class history in the 20th century, including trespassing, campaigning for the right to roam. And this is the kind of last song I wrote about Johnny's life. And so late was it written that it didn't actually make it onto the album, but it is in the latest version of the show. It's called Trespasses. We are the bold trespassing lads and lasses, oh so free, who dare to walk in places where we're told we shouldn't be, where there's fences round the forest, where the beach is out of bounds, where the walls are rising round the fields that once were common ground, where the keeper's hand lies heavy and he tells you with a strut that the moors were made for shooting, so the countryside is shut. We will make this orphan proudly quaff, the beauty is for all. We will find a gap in every hedge, a hole in every wall. Our fathers sold their boots for coal or burned them for the dead, while our mothers worked their weary limbs into their boss's bread. Though we were born on smoky morns and streets that knew no sun, the green hill wasn't far away, just waiting to be won. From the mountains of Snowdonia to the waters of the Broads, from the lonely hills of Lakeland to the West Country tors, there's a treasury from sea to sea of fell and field and plain, and the warbling woods are waiting to welcome us again. Last night I dreamed I met Lord Bug upon the burning moor. Said he, this land belongs to me, you are breaking the law. How came you by it, sir? I cried, and he replied in awe that his father's 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 father won it in a war. Well, if that be true, my lord, I said, I gave a tidy bow. Then by the same such logic, sir, I'll fight you for it now. Our lungs are full, our lives are young, and we will not be stale. We are the feet of England, and we're headed for the hill. We are the bold trespassing lads and lasses also free, who dare to walk in places where we're told we shouldn't be. Thank you very much. Graeme was fearing you're getting a bit too emotional in your old age there, Graeme. I thought I might share you this story of what happened to me today when I was trying to promote the gig. And I shared it on a singing group in Manchester. And someone replied and said, you can't be the Sean Cooney I used to know in Dublin, whose dad was in prison with Peter O'Donnell during the War of Independence. And I said, no, that's not me. I'm the Sean Cooney from Teesside, whose mum used to do Duncan Bannatyne's ironing. So there we go. Thank you. Talking about inspirational people, I want to sing this song for one of the first times in public, as it were, and it's about this incredible surgeon. You might know him. He had a best-selling book a couple of years ago. His name is David Knott, and he had one of the most incredibly moving episodes of Desert Island Discs I've ever heard, and he recounted his almost 30 years of working in war zones, saving lives across the world. And there was one particular story that he told that day about when he was operating in a bombed out hospital in Aleppo in Syria a few years ago. And in the middle of the operation, a bunch of gunmen stormed through the door dressed in black. And it dawned on him then that they were ISIS fighters. And it must mean that the man he was operating on was one of them. And it's just an unbelievable story that hopefully comes across in the song. And it's all based on his words. And the song is called The Surgeon. In the crumbling city, a hospital stood, its walls filled with holes and its wards filled with blood. He was laid on the table, a man in distress, with a bullet hole wound that was torn in his chest. So we set to work, my colleague and I, as barrel bombs bowled and rolled through the sky. Just then in the door burst 6 men at my back, with knives and machine guns and uniforms black. My face shook with fear, blood ran from my head. Don't say a word, my colleague said. Was then that I knew the man under my knife was a young IS fighter clinging to life. The surgeon must work, my colleague said. If he is disturbed, then your friend will be dead. Their eyes burned down on me like beams of a sun, but I kept my hand steady till my job was done. And thank God that my arms were all hidden in blood. Thank God for my mask. Thank God for my scrubs. Thank God they did not know that under my vest I wore a gold cross upon a white chest. And the fighter who'd lain there under my knife, he'd never know who saved his life. And when people ask me if I feel shame, I answer them no, I'd do it again. For life it is precious, and life it is rare, and may my arms always be able to bear. From Darfur to Gaza, and in every land, in crumbling cities where hospitals stand. Thank you.
Wow.
Thanks so much. That was, not, I only ever sang that song about 3 times in public. The Surge, and if you have a look for that Desert Island Discs episode, David Knott, and he's got a great book as well called War Doctor. I'm going to lighten the mood now, hopefully, and take you spiritually and emotionally to Hartlepool. And so many of you tonight got so many fond memories of singing with you. I know lots of you used to come to the folk club we used to run on the headland, the old part of Hartlepool, which is filled with stories and folklore and history. And Dave, who's coming on next, about 10 years ago, me and Dave did a lot of work in primary schools in Hartlepool and writing songs with kids, and this is one of them. And it's a song called The Legend of the Moving Church, and it concerns the crofters, who were the legendary fishermen and women of Hartlepool. They were the ones who were supposed to have hanged the monkey. But this is about the time that they moved the church. Now then, once upon a time in Hartlepool, and I must say before I get into this that it was written with the kids, so it's got kind of childish lyrics. Now then, once upon a time in Hartlepool, where the northern winds that blew so cruel, well, there came this new vicar, and no one was slicker, and he was no bugger's fool. Now one morning when the wind gave a chill, the crofters had a little time to kill, when they overheard the vicar say, I think it would be better if me church had been built down the hill. So they set about trying to move the church to get the nice new vicar out the lurch. Well, they pushed their backs into it, saying, I reckon we can do it, but of course they couldn't move the church. But there came along a local scally then, who cruelly played a trick upon the men. For when they looked the other way, she stole all their coats away and hid them in the secret den. Now the crofters, they were so filled with grief, but they didn't think it could have been a thief. And one of them did say, maybe it moved the other way, and so maybe now the coats are underneath. So for the rest of that long summer's day, they tried to push the church the other way, and they pushed it for so long that their armpits all did pong, and their ghosts are still pushing it today. Oh, they huff and they puff and they guff, and they guff and they puff and they huff. With all the huffing and a puffing and a guffing and a buffing, they'll never huff or puff or guff enough. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to me and for being part of this tonight. I'm going to say goodbye with one new song that I've never sang in full in public, and I'm dedicated to Jim and to Graeme. And it's a song that a friend of ours has been trying to get us to write for a couple of years. We got a friend from Derry in the north of Ireland, and she's been telling me about a man called Richard Moore. And Richard has this incredible story of forgiveness. In 1972, when he was 10 years old, at the height of the Troubles in Derry, he was hit by a rubber bullet and he was blinded. And he went on to lead a very fulfilling life. And incredibly, in his later years, he managed to track down the British soldier who fired the bullet and forgave him and became his friend. And it's an inspirational thing. And I was really lucky last year to make a documentary on songwriting for BBC Radio 4. And the kind of main kind of story of the programme was meeting Richard over Zoom and writing this song with his kind of permission and his input, and then at the end of it singing the song to him. So I'm going to sing it to you now and say thank you very much. And it's simply called Richard Moore. I was born in Derry by the waters of the Foyle. Me daddy was a shoemaker and he sweated and he toiled, and me mammy was an anchor. I can't list the things she did. You have to be an anchor when you have so many kids. There was Kevin, Gregory, Martin, Lily, Deirdre, Nolan, then there was Bosco, Pearson, Liam, John and Margaret, Charlotte, Jim. Cold feet hopping to and fro across the line or floor. I was the second youngest and my name is Richard Moore. The games we played as kids were made up from the things we saw, like civil rights protesters being beaten by the law. One man, one vote was written by the road and down we went. I read that sign 1,000 times, not knowing what it meant. My Uncle Gerard left his house wearing his Sunday suit. He died with both his hands held up. His last words were, "Don't shoot." The TV showed the world what we saw outside our front door. But it smelt just like and felt just like and looked like a war. That day was like another day. I raced out of the school. I ran home with me mates. It was a sunny afternoon. I saw the terraced houses down along the football field, not thinking they would be the last thing I would ever see. They said that we were hooligans. They said a stone was thrown, but we were just a bunch of kids and we were running home. We passed the army sangar in the shadow of the sun. In the shadow was a soldier and the soldier fired a gun. It was weeks before I really knew the damage done to me. When they take the bandage off, I thought I'd be able to see. When the surgeon told my daddy that he couldn't save my eyes, my daddy asked him calmly, "Well then, can I give him mine?" For daddy was a strong man and he kept it all inside, till one night he broke down in the street and wept just like a child. When she thought that I was sleeping, Mammy crept beside my bed. "He's only 10 years old, please God, oh let him see," she said. Now maybe it's just who I am, or 'cause I was so young, but I was never angry about the thing that had been done. Anger's like lighting a fire and burning your house down. It's like jumping in the river thinking someone else will drown. It's like being stuck in Derry jail, and when your time is done, you realise that the prison door was open all along. But I was only 10 and I had all my life to live. From the moment I was blinded, I was ready to forgive. So I grew up to be a man, bathed in my family's love. I used my compensation fund to buy myself a pub. And I met Rita, fell in love, we married, had 2 girls. I taught myself to play guitar and rocked over the world. And I knew I'd been a lucky man, and there were many kids who never had a home or hope or future like I did. So I sold the pubs and changed my song and sang it loud and clear, all the way to Ethiopia and Tanzania. Then one day like another day. I sat on my own, I ran my fingers through my hair and I switched off my phone. I picked up my teacup and then I put it down. I heard footsteps approaching and I turned my face around. I thought about two rivers running silently apart. I had my parents' picture in the pocket near my heart. I could see the terraced houses still waiting in a line. His hand came from the shadow and I gathered it in mine. Now this is just my story and it may be hard to hear that I forgave the man who caused all my parents' tears. But I did not do it for him and nor for him to see. Forgiveness was the gift that came and gave itself to me. Though the truth can be relentless and you think your heart can't mend, and it's like the world is ending all over again. Though the bullets flying still somewheres high above, may you find forgiveness deep down in the depths of love.
No, thank you. Put your wrong down. Okay.
Thank you very much, Sean. It's wonderful. And don't forget, you heard it here first. Just a little update on the total. Between Steve and Sean there, we managed to get £250. So that should mean that we are round about the £1,000 mark. I will tell you more after the next guest. I will actually do a quick tally and tell you more after the next guest, who I could tell you lots of stories about. We've had lots of time and fun together. I could tell you possibly about the time that my daughter had to go off and find him because he was lost on Whitby Beach in the dark with the tide coming in. Or I could tell you some other stories, but I dare not tell them in public. Well, I normally do, but I don't want to do it tonight. I think one of the best stories actually was we were in a shanty festival in Beverley Beck, alongside Beverley Beck, and the Hull Tigers, I think they were called, were playing at Wembley, playing something, rugby, I presume. I don't know, I'm not much of a sporting man. And so the shanty festival stopped whilst this match was on because it was a massive match. And there was myself, David, and Ben, and I think Sean might have been there as well. I'm not sure.
He was.
We were. There was an old banger of a piano there. David got on the piano. There was one snare drum and a cymbal. So Ben got on that, and we did an Elton John session to ourselves, basically, and about a few people sort of gradually drifted in and listened to us singing all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, but none of it what we'd traditionally call folk. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, no more ado. I'd like to welcome and thank greatly for joining us once again, Mr. David Eagle.
My goodness, I can hear some harmonies in the background. Are you listening? Are you listening to something in the background there, Steve? Are you doing? Is that why you're so slow with the muting? Are you watching another gig going on at the same time here, Steve? Unbelievable. Anyway, how did you know? How did you know, Graeme, what I was going to do tonight? I remember when rock was young. I don't think we got the copyright for that. What a wonderful night! So many stories, Graeme. Yeah, you never forget the first time you made love. Anyway. Lovely to be here, by which I mean with all of you people, not me being in the house. The novelty's kind of worn off now. I've been here for the last year. Thank you very much to Sean Cooney there. A wonderful warm-up act. It's when you're performing with the three of you, you know, in a band, you don't know who's the most popular. You don't know what the pecking order is. But it's nice to finally see. Lovely to headline this gig. I know Richard and Jess are up next, but I'm going to conveniently forget that. Sean has created a lovely mood with his beautiful songs. Which I'm now going to ruin with these, but it doesn't matter because someone's listening to their own thing anyway by the sounds of it. So. Oh, let's change the read setting. You've earned it. Come on. Another 50 quid for the advanced read setting. Come on. Now, I am not computer lit, but I thought I really best try it, so I bought myself some computer kit, and I started using Windows. Now I am just a regular guy and we all get urges by and by, so I thought I'd give some porn a try. So I started using Windows, as I say, mood change. So I took myself to Google search to find me something mucky. In the search box I typed boobies and clicked I am feeling lucky. The things I saw upon my screen, people doing things obscene, dirtier than a latrine. I'm glad that I got Windows. I saw bare-breasted ladies, nice and tanned, lesbians loving on the sand. I wish I could lend them a hand, but I'm just here home on Windows. I don't know what I'm doing, and that just can't be denied, which is how I've accidentally ordered myself a Thai bride. I sit and watch pornography, and you might say, ironically, what I do is not PC when I'm using Windows. Mr. Well-hung, Miss Dirty Whore, cavorting wildly on the floor. Hang on, that's Bill and Sue next door. They've also just got Windows. I can't believe it, Bill and Sue. You should see them, Bill and Coo. You'd be surprised at things they do when they're using Windows. I met a girl on online chat, a lovely lass from Pontefract. She said that she'd do things like that, like the things I've seen on Windows. I got an instant message saying that she was being webcammed. I'm not computer savvy. I haven't studied IT for 50 years, so I didn't understand. But I clicked on that link anyway, and what I saw, well, I will not say, but I can watch that girl do that all day. Hooray, I'm using Windows. No longer do I need those porn mags stashed up in me loft. When I switch on Windows, let me tell you, I'm not Microsoft. Me wife, she doesn't seem to care that I spend all night on the computer. She thinks I'm playing solitaire when I'm using Windows. As I said before, I'm not computer lit, so I don't really know how I did it. But now I'm really in deep shit, cause when I log on to Windows, that girl's naked photo is my desktop image. Oh no, when my wife sees this, her top she'll blow when she logs on to Windows. I've tried pressing the delete key, but that photo just won't go, you see. I can't get it off, ironically. Bloody stupid Windows. I don't know what I'm doing. Christ, I need an IT saviour, cause somehow I've got two hairy naked blokes as my screen saviour. Bloody, is that Jim and Graeme? It's Beverly Beckside all over again. Beverly Beck, wonderful woman. She's in there too. Computers, I don't have the knack. I can't get my old desktop picture back. Bloody hell, I think I better get a Mac and give up using Windows.
Easy. Just saying anything about using Windows already before.
The fact that you can hear individual people's comments. I think we might do a little game next time round. So I've got a bit of a challenge for you, but we'll do that after. I'll explain that a little bit later on, because I like the fact that you can hear various people, what they're saying, and I wonder if we'll come to that. But talking of Windows, I had a bit of an incident today. I got everything set up behind me. I've got a desktop computer. It was loaded with a compressor and an equalizer and all sorts of stuff. I've got a sound card over here which was plugged into another sound card. It was all very technical and all very wonderful. And I did a sound check about 2 hours before coming on, and it was all sounding brilliant. I even put a cheeky bit of reverb on. What can I say? And I mean, it was a bit weird because the reverb I chose was living room. And I thought, well, that seems a bit odd because I'm in a living room, but it sounded better than my living room, so I went for it. That's the kind of advanced person you were dealing with here. It was going to be wonderful. And then about half an hour before I was meant to come on here, I got this message that popped up on my screen, and it said, Windows is ready to install an update. Do you want to restart now or later? And I thought, well, what's going to happen is if I choose restart later, it's just going to do it in an opportune moment. And Graeme's going to be going on one of his fascinating monologues, and it's going to restart, and I'm going to miss it. So I thought I better do it now. So I did it now. And of course, what happened? It said we're going to install some new apps and new features. It didn't do any of that. I don't know what it's installed, but what it has done is it's knocked out my sound card drivers. So all of the stuff that I'd spent 2 hours on getting right, unfortunately went. So I've now got this very rudimentary setup. So I hope you can hear everything absolutely fine. Because it'd be a shame if you didn't hear that riveting anecdote that I've just given you there. Only 2 hours old, that anecdote, my friends. May never be heard again. Sean sang a song that he's never sung for the first time. That might be an anecdote that will never be told again and was done for the first time. So you remember where you were. I don't know what these new apps and features are. I've not discovered them yet, but it's probably something absolutely pointless for me, like an integrated, updated maps software or solitaire or something like that. There's no use to a blind person. But what I know is it's absolutely pathetic. Anyway, let's move on to a little song. And, what shall I do? Right, so my little challenge is, I want to see when you unmute yourselves, when you applaud, because you will applaud, because it's a good song. I want to know I want you to say your names as you're doing your applause, and whoever gets their name in last before Steve mutes them is the winner. I don't know what you win. Maybe you win a Windows update with a sound card that doesn't work anymore. There you go. How's that for a present? Okay, then. I'm going to dedicate this to Sean's wife's guide dog, Emily's Nessie, and also to Graeme's puppies as well. Oh, that reminds me of Beverly Beckside all over again. Wake up, Rover, it's time to die. Look up into the darkening sky. You've been my pet for many fun years, but now I've got a task that'll cause you tears. Your days of warmth and security are through, 'cause I've got another use for you. I'm afraid it's not quite as nice. You're gonna be a pet sacrifice, 'cause I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog for Satan. I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog for Satan. We've had you since you were a puppy, and boy, how you've grown, but now it's time to leave the safety of your family home. Put down that chew toy, leave go of that bone. There's no one you can call, there's no one you can phone, and even if you could call someone, they wouldn't get here in time. Anyway, who would you call? K999? Come on, at least 20 quid, that pun. Come on. You've always been such a friendly, faithful chihuahua, but now I'm offering up your soul for the devil to devour, 'cause I'm killing my dog. Yes, I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog for Satan. I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog. I'm killing my dog for Satan. Middle eight. Woo! Woo! Oh, Rover, you silly old chump, as you give my leg one farewell hump. For all time's sake, I'll give your belly a rub, pat you on the head and feed you to Beelzebub. I'm sorry, Rover, I just don't have a choice. I heard satanic messages in your doggy voice, so I know that you're evil. I know that you're cursed, 'cause I recorded you barking and I played it in reverse. So I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog for Satan. I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog for Satan. Yes, I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog for Satan. I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog, I'm killing my dog. Make no bones about it, Rover, it's time to die as I cast you into the fiery dark. And once you get to hell, my friend, you ain't never coming back. Names.
He's name calling.
Brilliant.
Hello! Oh, you missed that wonderful comment that I just made. I just saw that solved out the meaning of life, the universe, and everything. Well, you know, I've just forgotten it. But never mind, be a bit quicker on that mute button there, unmute button there, Steve. Okay, we just wonderful work from Steve and wonderful work from Graeme to organise this. I don't know whether I should tell you my...
David, can I just ask you a quick question, please?
Yes, you can. Of course you can, Graeme.
To your right,
yeah.
There's a little statue type thing with 3 persons on it. Looks like a bronze thing. Could you?
I know my fiance is sitting next to me. She's not having a. You're not giving piggyback rides out there.
Could you tell us what that is?
I don't know what it is. I didn't know it existed. Oh, it's a folk award, apparently.
Oh,
Yeah,
is
they'll
it a
give
folk award?
They'll give it. Hey, they'll give it to anyone. Sean's got one of those, for goodness sake. I mean,
Oh, look, folk award winners.
yeah.
Was it 2 years running?
Yeah, or 3 years, I think. But yeah.
3, blimey, there we go. Look at that.
Is that you? Just trying to convince everyone that I am good. I know he's been a bit lackluster tonight, but he is genuinely good, everyone. If you could put some more money. Thank you, Graeme.
I was just trying to get some more money, show how,
Yeah. I could
how
sell.
connected
I'd happily.
I am.
I'd
How
happily get rid.
connected I am.
I'd sell the folk award if you want. I don't mind. Doesn't mean anything to me. I'm very Buddhist about these. You can tell by my accent I'm very Buddhist, I think. It screams Zen, which is somewhat ironic. Leslie was the last name that I heard. I did ask Ellie, who is my fiancée, who you've completely bypassed. I can sell her as well if you want. You wouldn't mind, would you? For the limbs? For the limbs, exactly. I'm wondering whether to tell my one prosthetic anecdote, but I don't know if it's a little trite and glib. Well, it is, but if you find it distasteful, people, then you can do something about it. You can put money in the tip jar if you really care. No, it just reminded me of someone who was at uni, when I went to uni, and I don't really know him too well, but I was there on the night that he had an argument with a bouncer. Now, this person in particular had got a prosthetic leg. I don't know why he was in an argument with this bouncer in this nightclub. I don't know if it was because he was a bouncer and he just didn't like the name because it was sort of rubbing salt into the wound. But anyway, he was having this argument and the bouncer said, "I'm afraid you're too drunk." Yeah, I won't do the legless pun because it's, come on, we're better than that. And he said, "I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave." And the man refused. He said, "I'm not going to leave." And then he obviously was losing this argument with the bouncer. So for some reason, the man with the prosthetic leg at uni, he obviously thought, "I'll show him." So he took his leg off and threw it at the bouncer, which didn't really work. I think the idea was it maybe hit him in the face and hurt him a little bit, but it didn't happen. What happened was the bouncer caught the leg and just started walking off with it. And then the man obviously realised, well, I've lost my only kind of... That sort of backfired on me, so just sort of hopped out after the bouncer to retrieve his leg. So literally went out on a limb. So there you go. There's my one prosthetic anecdote. I was hoping that everyone would do a prosthetics anecdote tonight, but seemingly I'm the only one who's put any effort into this gig, but fair enough. There we go. I can only hope that Steve hasn't yet unmuted me. Right. Let's sing another little song. I was trying to think of a song about prosthetics, but I spent 3 hours at my laptop, couldn't think of a rhyme, so there we go. How long have we done, Ellie? Ah, lovely. Let's do this new song, all about national pride. That's a big thing at the moment, isn't it? But this isn't about British national pride, it's about French national pride. Because at the moment we've got the likes of Nigel Farage, of course. We've got Lawrence Fox, who's now apparently going for Mayor of London. And they're always banging on about how we need to protect and preserve British heritage and identity, both of which are French words, incidentally. And I kind of think, do these people know any folk songs? Because that's what we do, isn't it? We get together and we sing songs often all over the world, but also British traditional folk songs. And if these people really cared about their culture, we don't really see them in the folk clubs. Not that I want to see them in the folk clubs, but what do they mean when they say British heritage and and culture? It seemingly means that we don't care about our human rights record or equality or any of those things that I'm proud to be British for, and I thought were British values. It basically means that if someone tries to tear down a statue of a dead slave owner, that's when we get up in arms. But anyway, so inspired by this, I thought, what if the French said, "Look, we're sick of this. You want to keep what's yours, that's fine, but we want what's ours. So we're taking back our words. Enough is enough," they say. Or enough is enough, if they're getting weirdly philosophical about eggs. So this is a song called Taking Back Our Words. And I don't need to tell you, it's from the perspective of a Frenchman. But you'll know that because the accent will be so wonderful. Well done, Leslie. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking back our words. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking our words back. Oh, there's a boat coming over the channel wide, fueled by anger and national pride. You've been using our words completely for free. That seems a little unfair to me. So I stood for Parliament, we had a vote, and that is why I am steering this boat to England shores. Our words to reclaim. If you use them from now on, then you will be paying. A relationship will be hard for you. You can't have a liaison or rendezvous. You can't be a bachelor or fiancé unless you don't mind throwing money away. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking back our words. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking our words back. Oh, me and Jacob Rees-Mogg had a rendezvous. I told him what I was planning to do. I thought out my throat he was going to leap, but no, to be honest, he just fell asleep. I met Boris Johnson, who said to me, what, that cannot be. Yes, it can, Boris, and you've incurred a fee. Those noises you make sound a bit French to me. But I am a dancer, I do ballet. Well, that is a French word, and so you'll have to pay. But I couldn't endure the financial strain. Then go work in cyber. It's time to retrain. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking back our words, you heard. Hey, England, we're the French, and we're taking our words back. So don't eat a baguette, don't date a brunette, don't eat salad, especially with vinaigrette. Don't stay in a hotel or maisonette, and I hope you're not planning to read a gazette. And you can't read a novel or watch television. You can't play lacrosse or have optimism. You can't use a machine or have a massage. And you can't use French surnames like Farage. You can pay me with credit or cash or check. They're all French words, you fool. You're a financial wreck. I guess you might call that my coup de grace. But if you did, I'd sue your ass. Hey, England, where's the French? Hence the accent, and I'm taking back my words. You heard? Hey, England, where's the French? And we're taking our words back. And so now I must go. Au revoir, so long. Ah, but don't worry, England, we'll let you keep hong-hee, hong-hee, hong. Thank you. Yes,
Bravo.
Probably me, is it? I'll do one that's not one of mine. This is by the wonderful singer-songwriter Bob Bossin, and it's all about an incident that happened either in the late 60s or early 70s. My dates elude me, but there was a protest in a high school in the city of Pacifica in California because, basically there was a beauty pageant. And the idea was to find the next Miss Pacifica, who then maybe goes on to be Miss California and maybe Miss America. And the whole thing, obviously, is ogling women. And it's not particularly in keeping with feminist ideas. And so one girl in the high school thought, enough is enough. Or enough is enough, you're getting philosophical about eggs. Okay, we'll do that again. And... she said, so she stood up and she propositioned the mayor. She said, look, if you want to see what we've got, you show us what you've got. And so here's a song all about that. And it did make a difference. It's one of those stories of a small act of defiance. It's kind of grew and disseminated all over the country. And I'm going to do an American accent for this one. Because I did a French accent before, why not? I need to do an American accent, otherwise it won't work. Girls, as the principal of Terra Nova High School once each year, it is a pleasure for me to introduce you to the mayor of the city of Pacifica, who'll say a few words about our homecoming queen, who will be, said the mayor, a very lucky maid to represent Pacifica throughout our state, and who could go on to be Miss California, or who knows, Miss America herself. I expect to see some volunteers. Well, one girl got up, and without any fear, she said, Mr. Mayor, show us the length of your cock. Are you hung like a beaver or hung like a bear? Let us check the weight of your rocks, so we can have a standard by which to compare. It doesn't really matter if it's short or thin or slender. The personality is as important as the member. Drop your trousers and make the news, or don't judge lest we judge you. Well, the girls looked at the teachers, who were looking at the principal, who was looking at the mayor, who was looking at his shoes. Actually, Mr. Principal, stammered the mayor, I've just remembered I've got something else to do elsewhere. But before the mayor could escape the school, a girl came up to him brandishing a ruler. The mayor took off like a kite in the wind, but the girls started singing after him. Well, they were singing, show us the length of your cock. Are you hung like a beaver or hung like a bear? Let me check the weight of your rock, so we can have a standard by which to compare. It doesn't really matter if it's short or thin or slender. The personality is as important as the member. Drop your trousers and make the news, or don't judge lest we judge you. Well, girls, as the principal of Terra Nova High School, I brought you back to say these words. A girl has been suspended for the rest of the semester on account of the behaviour of which you've all heard by now. This is a blow to Terra Nova's name. Yes, we believe in freedom, yes, but licence is not the same. Women's liberation may be partially true, but look, there's never an excuse for being rude. Some girls hissed, others booed, and all the other girls just started singing this tune. What a shame we can't unmute ourselves. They were singing, show us the length of your cock. Are you hung like a beaver or hung like a bear? Let me check the weight of your rocks, so we can have a standard from which to compare. It doesn't really matter if it's short or thin or slender. The personality is as important as the member. Drop your trousers and make the news, or don't judge lest we judge you without your pants on. Don't judge lest we judge you and find you wanting. Don't judge lest we judge, so throw away your rulers and your ribbons and such. And don't judge lest you be judged. And if it's too small, we can probably do your prosthetic. I've got a friend. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much, David. As always, tears come to my eyes when I'm with you, David. Normally it's pain because you've trodden on me or you've asked me to buy a round or something like that. But sometimes, often it's laughter as well, of course. Thank you so much. I'd just like to tell you, I didn't get round to doing the total, but during that song, we received £170. We must have topped the £1,000 by now. I think actually it's something like £1,200. Keeping a rough running total, but I will tell you after almost our last act, should we say, there may be a surprise afterwards, but our last act. Now, if you were to ask me who was responsible for this whole evening, I would have to blame Jess Arrowsmith, because I was talking to her on the phone quite innocently, and it was after I'd shared the post about Jim and about Jim and his accident and the GoFundMe page. And she wanted to donate some money very kindly. That was a very kind thought. And she somehow she talked me into doing a benefit gig. I'm sure that's how it worked out. I'm not sure. Something like that. Anyway, so thank you very much, Jess. So anyone else want to blame anyone? It's Jess. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, a nice big round of applause for Jess and Rich Arrowsmith.
Thank you.
We've got to follow that. We haven't got.
So, I don't know how we follow anything that David just sang or said, to be honest. So
I wouldn't want to be on now.
Perhaps somebody else should go next rather than us, really,
Yeah.
because I don't think I've got anything that will follow that.
The best I can do is a tape measure.
Oh, dearie me. Right. So, in order to try and clear the mind from everything that David has just been singing and just been saying, because David, you're fabulous, but it's distracted me totally. We're going to sing a song that's nothing like anything that David's just sung, I don't think.
Oh, it's by Paul Davenport.
It's by Paul Davenport. It's a song about sword dancing. We've been missing our traditional dance this year. We haven't been able to do any Morris dancing in real life. We haven't been able to watch any sword dancing in real life. This song really is a sort of a Plough Monday song. So we're a couple of months late, but that's okay. I don't know what month it is anyway, so that's all right. It's called Come See the Boys Go Round. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the plough to break the ground, raise up the shining rose. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the plough to break the ground, raise up the shining rose. When Christmas tide is gone and past, when fields lie stark and bare, then let us brave the winter's blast without a fear or care. Without a fear or care, me boys, let's each with one accord now dance the round on frozen ground with ribbons drawn and sword. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the plough to break the ground, raise up the shining rose. Now first comes in his besom best, a sweeping with her broom, to drive out winter's cold distress, to clear and make the room, to clear and make the room, me boys, that we might sport and play, with swords that clash and brightly flash upon this holiday. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the plough to break the ground, raise up the shining rose. Let lord and lady start the game, let Tom Fool sing the song that wakes those heroes of great fame who roll the year along, who roll the year along, me boys, for only they know how. The plough becomes the shining sword, the sword becomes the plough. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the plough to break the ground, raise up the shining rose. Now enter in those heroes bold, those heroes of great fame. Their forefathers in days of old each bore a glorious name. Each bore a glorious name, me boys, likewise a shining blade. They leap and spin, the swords go in, and thus the rose is made. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the clouds that break the ground, raise up the shining rose. Come see the boys go round, how sweet the music flows. Bring forth the clouds that break the ground, raise up the shining rose.
The rose is
I did realise I was so distracted at the beginning of our set there. We probably should have turned on original sound, Richard, and we didn't. I'm going to do that now. If the sound is not okay from where you are, like the box is louder than the voice or whatever it is, if something's not working, tell us, because we can't tell from here. But yeah, I've turned on original sound now, and that might be better than it was before. Who knows?
You were fine. It sounded okay.
Thank you.
Only fine.
Excellent. It's going to be better now, though, isn't it?
Right then, here's a song that Jess wrote for me to sing, and it's all about people singing together, which we can't do at the moment. So it feels kind of extra special. Once there was a man and his... Nope.
We've got next door neighbours who are playing really loud music through our wall now. It's really distracting. Yeah. I don't think they like folk music.
No.
Try again, Mitch. Once.
And it's a completely different rhythm to how I want to sing this song.
Put your fingers in your ears.
I'm going to have to go and
like a folkie.
Break their door down after this gig.
Just sing.
Once there was a man and he had no song. He felt his head was empty and his voice was wrong. But though he often tried, the songs were trapped inside. He couldn't find a place for them to belong. But raise your voice with mine, for now's the perfect time to join the song. Once there was a woman and her songs were loud. She sang them in the shower and she sang them proud. But when her friends were near, her voice it shrank with fear and left her shaking mute before the crowd. But raise your voice with mine, for now's the perfect time to join the song. Now if you want to sing but don't know how or why, don't listen to the ones who say you should not try. There's bound to be a way you've not tried before today, to free your voice to soar beneath the sky. So raise your voice with mine, for now's the perfect time to join the song. Once there was a singer and he made his choice to leave his doubts behind him and to find his voice. The journey that he's on is to learn just one more song and sing it out and make his friends rejoice. So raise your voice with mine, for now's the perfect time to join the song. Raise your voice with mine, for now's the perfect time to join the song.
Thank you very much. So we're going to sing a song now written by a friend of ours called Pete Smith, who's kind of Well, he's Richard's Sheffield dad. Richard collects dads everywhere we go. And Pete is Richard's Sheffield dad. And he's also the most wonderful singer and songwriter. And he wrote this song, I think, in 2013. He released it, though, on an album last year called Basking in the Sun. We'd heard him sing this song a few times before we got the album. But during the first lockdown at the beginning of last year, we just listened to this over and over again. The whole of the CD is fantastic. And this song in particular just really spoke to me. So I thought I'd better learn it. And Pete says it's okay and I'm allowed to sing it. So that's good. So it's called Wordsworth's Bones. And he wrote it whilst on a walking holiday in the Lake District. So there's lots of imagery from there. And it was in the winter. So this feels like a reasonable time to be singing it. But it's got lots of chorus, so you can sing and join in even if we can't hear you. No daffodils here to host these hills, just crisp like leaves and autumn tones, and wind-formed shapes on Loughrick Tarn that dance and swirl round Wordsworth's bones. Sing to the moon and the stars will shine, dance for the sun on a winter's morn. Remember the life that has just passed by, and cherish the life that's just been born. An ice cold wind o'er Langdale pikes drives rain-fueled clouds that strain and moan. Then down they go to Scallop Bridge to dance and swirl round Wordsworth's bones. Sing to the moon and the stars will shine, dance for the sun on a winter's morn. Remember the life that has just passed by, and cherish the life that's just been born. No skylark songs for to fill this air, just Corby's twast and all forlorn. By icy waters dippers dare to dance and swirl round Wordsworth's bones. Sing to the moon and the stars will shine, dance for the sun on a winter's morn. Remember the life that has just passed by, and cherish the life that's just been born. All the rain and snow from all these hills will find its way through Dragonstone, then burst its way through Scallop Force to dance and swirl round Wordsworth's bones. Sing to the moon and the stars will shine, dance for the sun on a winter's morn. Remember the life that has just passed by, and cherish the life that's just been born. And soon these hills all covered snow will light the way to New Year born, and a bright new host of daffodils will dance and swirl round Wordsworth's bones. Sing to the moon and the stars will shine, dance for the sun on a winter's morn. Remember the life that has just passed by, and cherish the life that's just been born. Cherish the life that's just been born. Thank you. Isn't that the most beautiful song? Lovely, from Pete Smith.
Right then, we're going to put some tunes in because there haven't been many tunes tonight. And he said some of the I've not learnt many tunes this year or lockdown. But the second tune of this is one I have learnt. It's called Balmoral Castle. And I'm going to put that with a piece of handle. So called Scipio.
dishes.
I think we've reached the end of our little segment of the set, really. So thank you everybody for coming this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. We have. We've had great fun. And of course, if you haven't donated yet, or you feel like suddenly donating some more so that we can win the competition of to how much do you get in each set, which we're not going to because we're last, but there we go. Do donate. Tell your friends.
Yeah, and don't forget, Jim has enabled Graeme to come on many pub crawls with me.
That's true. And they don't even crawl, they walk and everything.
Yeah, well, at the start.
Rich crawls. So yeah, we've been absolutely delighted to be involved this evening. And yeah, we're going to leave you with a song that you can hopefully all join in with. It's a song of mine. It's called All the Salt in the Sea. And it's a sort of a not religious spiritual, if you are allowed such a thing. So it goes like this. When we are gone from this place, a dim remembered face can bind us all together, our mothers and our sons, and every link in that chain, forged with love, blood and pain, can remind us all forever of where once we had begun. And all the salt in the sea cannot preserve me, all the heat in the fire cannot bring my heart's desire, all the birds in the sky cannot teach me to fly, but the love in my soul can keep me whole. Now if we have purpose here, give up duty and fear, cherish family, cherish friends, our fathers and our daughters, to each moment hold fast, as if each were your last, and hope each day will end with embraces, smiles and laughter. All the salt in the sea cannot preserve me, all the heat in the fire cannot bring my heart's desire, all the birds in the sky cannot teach me to fly, but the love in my soul can keep me whole. When reasoned thought can't explain untold suffering and pain, take solace in good company, our partners and our neighbours. If we strive, do our best to fill their hearts with happiness, then our own soon full can be, and so reward our labours. All the salt in the sea cannot preserve me, all the heat in the fire cannot bring my heart's desire, all the birds in the sky cannot teach me to fly, but the love in my soul can keep me whole. All the salt in the sea cannot preserve me, all the heat in the fire cannot bring my heart's desire, all the birds in the sky cannot teach me to fly, but the love in my soul can keep me whole. The love in my soul can keep me whole.
Well, really.
Very nice.
Hi, Chief.
Right, thank you very much. I bet you'd all thought you'd got away with that hearing me sing, didn't you? Well, sorry. Right, thank you very much, Richard and Jess. The money is coming in as we speak, but what I can tell you, I don't know whether Jim might want to say anything after this song, but what I can tell you is we are less than £150 away from £2,000. Less than £150 would take us to £2,000. And my phone is buzzing as I speak. So I hope that's going to be the figure we're going to be passing over. Anyway, I'm going to sing this song. Those of you who know me will have heard me sing it because it's fairly anthemic for me. And I think it's probably, well, it is very suitable for the occasion. So it was written by a woman who now lives in Retford, but at the time lived in Doncaster, by the name of Janet Wood. And it goes a bit like this. Don't tell me the things that I cannot do. I don't need reminding of those. There's plenty of things that I am capable of. Well, I can live and I can love and I can. Don't disable me. Pity or label me. For I'm a person, not a broken down machine, not a mass of moving parts, but a soul with a feeling heart. So don't disable me. Don't bother deciding what is for my own good. You can't take my power away. Your help will be welcomed if it can be returned, but I've plenty to give and plenty to say, for I can, don't disable me, pity or label me, for I'm a person, not a broken down machine, not a mass of moving parts, but a soul with a feeling heart, so don't disable me. You can't give me freedom, 'cause it's not just a give. It's mine to create if I dare. At the end of the day, I know it's all down to me. But if you'll look me in the eye, I'll know that you care. I know that I can. Don't disable me. Pity or label me. For I'm a person, not a broken down machine, not a mass of moving parts, but a soul with a feeling heart. So don't disable me, because I can. Don't disable me, pity or label me, for I'm a person, not a broken down machine, not a mass of moving parts, but a soul with a feeling heart. So don't disable, pity or label. Don't you disable me.
Nice one, Graeme. Awesome.
Outside from the cripple.
Jim, say it that way for a while.
Okay, thank you very much. So before we go, I'm not sure if I heard loads of cries, encore, encore. So I'm just going to assume we're going to anyway. I don't know, Jim, do you want to come back and say anything? Well, whilst we're finding Jim, thank you very much to everyone who's taken part. So thank you very much to the Arrowsmiths, David Eagle, Sean Cooney, Steve Last. Thank you very, very much to Steve Last for all the technical work and the sweat and tears that he's probably been leaving over the technical hiccups we've had this evening. Thank you very much to Bob Walser, of course, and thank you very much to Jim Mageean, Barrie and Ingrid. I'm just so touched that you've all volunteered your services tonight, and thank you very much to the whole audience. I find that very touching that you would come and give so much money to a man you don't know, just because he's helped me. So I'm very grateful for that. Jim.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot for introducing me to your friends, you talented bunch. You know, it would have been fantastic just to be in the audience, but to be the center of this, to be, you know, subject to so much like affection from you, and you know, through you, all those people that are watching, and all the players tonight is humbling completely. It bewilders me. I'll be honest with you, I'm completely bewildered, to be honest. But you know, thank you very much.
Well, I can't wait to shake your hand. Yeah, So I'll look forward to the day when I can do that. So
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
I think what we're going to do now is unmute all the main singers. And we're going to sing a song which is going to sound terrible because we're all in different places and there's going to be loads of different echoes and things like that. But the audience, now don't get yourselves caught out, because somewhere at the end, Steve is going to unmute you so you can join in the chorus. So don't get caught out. Don't be talking. Don't be on the telephone. Don't be saying, just scratch a little bit to the left, please, dear. Because you're going to get a chance to join in as well. So just to get you ready for it, the chorus goes like this. Okay, you got it? Righto. So have we got the singers unmuted?
Oh, yeah, it looks like it.
Yes, we have.
Oh, that's good.
Hello, Sean. What are you doing these days?
There we go. Right.
Comforted my dog.
He never returns my calls, Sean. Unbelievable.
Oh, look. We're even getting singers on the stage.
Oh.
Hey.
Get there in a minute. We'll be there in a minute. It's a bit slow.
It's all right. Give me time to just have another look at what's happened. Oh, blimey.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah, carry on, Steve. Don't worry. I have this incredible feeling.
Oh. Is it incontinence again, Graeme?
It is, I'm afraid. Yes, it's, they haven't sorted that bit out yet.
Yeah,
So,
you need a prosthetic bladder, but yeah.
Yes. What I need actually is an extension to my cock. Is that what you were singing about earlier?
Graeme, it's hanging down from the left-hand corner, from the top left-hand corner of your screen.
All right. Oh, yes, so it is. Yeah. I actually need a prosthetic testicle. You all know that, though. I've just received a balance in PayPal of 180 quid. So that means we've topped 2,000 quid.
Over 2,000.
Oh, £2,000 tonight. Thank you very much.
Well done. Brilliant.
Wow.
There may even be more. I don't know, because people will send in other ways as well. So
Yeah, but Graeme, the most important thing is how many people have bought Jim's book.
Yeah. All 4 of them have now been bought. Right, okay, here we go. It's time to finish off, because we're running a bit late. I'm so glad most of you could stay. But here we go. We're going. Oh, hello, Emily. We'll finish off with this song, and you all know what it is. It goes like this. It goes, my name is Jim, the Carter lad, a jolly cock am I. I always am contented, be the weather wet or dry. I snap my fingers at the wind and whistle at the rain. I brave the storm, many's a year, can do it again. Here we go. Crack, crack,
goes the whip and I whistle as I sing.
I sit
upon me wagon.
I'm as happy as a king. My horse is always willing, and I am never sad. There's none can lead a jollier life than Jim the Carter lad. My father was a carrier. Many years ere I was born, he used to rise at daybreak, do his rounds each morn. He'd often take me with him, especially in the spring. How I love to sit upon the cart and hear my father sing. Here we go! Crack, crack, goes the whip, I whistle and I sing. I sit upon me wagon. I'm as happy as a king. My horse is always willing, and I am never sad. There's none can lead a jollier life than Jim Carter's lad. Well, the girls, they always smile at me as we go riding past. My horse's name is Beauty, and she jogs along so fast. And it covered many's a weary mile, but happy hours we've had. Oh, there's none can lead a life so gay as Jim the carter's lad. Here we go. Crack, crack, goes the whip and I whistle as I sing. I sing, I'm as happy as a king. The horse is always willing, and I am never sad. There's none can lead a jollier life than Jim, the carter's lad. Steve, ready for unmute all on this one? Well, it's time to bid you all good night. I must be on my way. My horse would only weary if I should longer stay. But see your smiling faces, it's made my heart so glad. I hope that you will drink with me. Good Jim, the carter's lad. Here we go. Crack, crack, goes the whip, I whistle, I sing. I'm as happy as a king. Horses always winning, and I am the sad. And lead your life in Jim, carter's lad. And again, crack, crack goes the whip, I whistle, and I sit on me wagon. I'm as happy as a king. Horses always winning, and I am the sad. Let's come live a jolly and Jim, the carter lad. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Right, well, it really is time to say good night. We'll just do a quick now do I do that like that? Oh, like that. There we go. Oh, I did it. So, am I still alive? Yeah, I am. So, thank you all very much. I'm going to unmute again in a minute for one last round of applause for all of the singers and all of the audience. Just absolutely everyone. Thank you so much. I cannot express how grateful I am to you all, singers, audience, everyone who's been involved. I really am so grateful. So I'm going to let you go for a big round of applause now, please. Thank you very much.